guys, it's Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today is Thursday, March 28th, and as you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about Good Till Canceled and how it's not the end of the world. People are losing their minds like the apocalypse has happened, and in the grand scheme of life, at the end of the day, Good Till Canceled listings are not going to be the end of your business. They are not going to be the end of the world. They're just not. Are they annoying? For some people, yes. Is it an extra step or two? For some people, yes. I 100% understand that. Absolutely. And I know that a lot of people just don't like having their choices taken away, and that can be upsetting. It's the principle of the matter, not the actual mechanics behind the scenes of having Good Till Canceled listings that upset a lot of people. Up until this point, we had a choice of how we would list, whether we list it and forget it or list it for 30 days and it would end. And taking that choice away from sellers can be very upsetting to a lot of people. I understand that. I'm a person who thrives on routines and schedules, and when anything happens that changes my routine or my schedule or puts a wrench in there, I can get upset. And when you're used to doing things a certain way and a choice is made for you, that can be upsetting. This isn't like a choice we all made. This was made for us, and a choice was taken away. And a lot of people, you know, had this not happened, would continue to do 30 days forever. I understand why people are upset. I get it. We don't like decisions being made for us. We don't like our choices being taken away from us. But you have to look at it like this. eBay is the only platform left that had an option where you could list for 30 days and then it would end. Everyone else is list it until it sells, it sits there. List it and forget it. Every other platform is that way. The only drawback is that every 30 days, eBay does charge you for another listing, or it will count against the total amount of listings you get for your store subscription. And I know that that's another point of contention. If eBay wanted to switch to a system where you list something once and forget it until it sells and then you pay your fees on it, like everyone else does, that's great, but maybe we only pay the first time we list it. And because they're going to be, you know, renewing themselves every 30 days, we're paying for them every 30 days. That's not different. We always did that before, but I understand the logic behind the thought process of if you're going to switch it to list it one time and make that decision for us and take away the choice of the 30 days, then maybe you want to not charge for a listing every 30 days. I can get behind that. I can agree with that. I can see the logic in that. And in fact, most platforms are free to list on, and you only pay your fees when the item sells. For instance, Poshmark, you can list as many items as you want without any cost to you, and then when they sell, you pay your fees. So it's, you know, it's on the one hand, I 100% understand why people are upset. I do. But on the other hand, as a professional, as a person who's in this business with Keith, as someone who wants to continue to make money and be successful as a reseller, I have to learn how to roll with the punches. I have to learn how to adjust. I want to continue to play in eBay's sandbox, so I will have to play by eBay's rules, and I can't allow emotions to get in the way of being successful. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this video today. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are so upset by this and so angry. They're allowing those emotions to get in the way of them making money. I cannot tell you how many people I have seen in Facebook groups, Instagram, you know, just all over social media, literally say, oh, well, before the forced good till canceled, I had 500 items in my store, but I've dropped it down to 50 in protest. What are you protesting? And who are you hurting? Really? You know, you drop your listings from 500 to 50 or 100 or whatever you do, you're only hurting yourself. eBay is not going to care if you all protest and drop your listings. There's plenty of people with listings on eBay that will continue to sell their items and pay their fees. You're really only hurting yourself. If you don't have items listed, they are not selling. If you have 500 items in your home that you took off of eBay, you now have 500 items in your home that are just sitting there and doing nothing for you. Items that you spent your business capital on, that you have cost of goods invested in, and you're just sitting on money, you're throwing it away. You might as well have taken your money and put it in the trash. You can feel any type of way that you want to feel, but at the end of the day, you cannot let that allow you to prohibit your ability to make money or be successful as a reseller. If you drop your listings, you're only hurting yourself. You're the one not selling your item. You're the one not making the money. And if you've moved all your listings to another platform, well, good. I'm glad to hear that. At least you're not giving up completely. There are some people who only list on eBay and drop their listings down and will only do 50 a month now. And if you're a hobby seller, or you're just doing this for fun or some extra money, I guess that's cool. But there were a lot of people that were really working towards making this a full-time living or being able to quit their job, that listing 50 items a week is not going to do that for you. So I hope that you're happy working outside of the home. I hope that you're happy in your job, because you're not going to be able to quit your job with 50 items a week on eBay, and that's just the truth. I'm not trying to judge anyone or belittle anyone, but the bottom line is, if you want this to be a successful business, you have to sell things. And in order to sell things, you have to have them listed. So at the very least, if you've moved your items to other platforms, that's good. At least they have an opportunity to sell. You don't want a bunch of items that you've already put money into sitting around your home. But I would add that it's always better to have your eggs spread out. You don't want them all in one basket. You want these multiple streams of income. You want these multiple platforms. So while I can understand why people are upset, I don't like other people making decisions for me. That's the number one reason why I do this. I like to make my own decisions. I don't want a boss. I don't want to be micromanaged. I don't want somebody telling me what to do. I don't want to get in trouble on the days that I can't really work because my back hurts, or I can't function because of pain. I don't want to worry about, you know, only getting X amount of call-off days a month before I lose my job. I like to be in control. I like to be my own boss, and that's why I do this. And having decisions made for me really does irk me. I can understand that. It irks me. And, you know, nobody likes to have choices taken away or decisions made for them. I get it. But that goes back to all the times I've told you guys to keep your emotions out of your business. That's just tough love. Emotions have no place in business. Bottom line, we're humans, we will have emotions, but you've got to learn how to draw that line, how to keep them out of your business. You know, you can be mad at eBay all you want, but you're not going to make money if you take your listings down. You're only punishing yourself. And you guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's really not the end of the world, I promise you. It is a little annoying. It is a little irksome, and like I know that for some people it's going to create an extra step, but for a lot of people this is a good thing. You can list an item and forget about it. Will it get stale? Probably, so you probably don't want to do that. But I know there's people that do like good till canceled and have multiple quantity items, and watchers and people who come back time and again as repeat customers, and it's good for them. As far as we're concerned, I prefer 30-day for my own reasons, and Keith had his reasons, which really amounted to we like to lower our prices every 30 days by about 5% on most of our items. We like to look over things once every month to see why maybe it didn't sell. Was there a typo in the title? Could the title be tweaked? Could the pictures be better? Could we change the lead photo to a more interesting one to draw people in? Could we play with, maybe offering free returns and charging shipping instead of the other way around? There were just a multitude of reasons. And I feel like, when listings ended on their own every 30 days and they went to those unsolds, it was kind of a reminder to us to look at all of those things, to look at the listings. But now we'll just have to adjust. We just have to adjust. That's what we have to do. In life and in business, you will be thrown curveballs. Things will change that are out of your control. Things will happen that are out of your control. And if you can learn how to accept the things that you cannot change and learn how to adapt in different situations, learn how to adapt to different circumstances, you will be successful. And that's, I guess, the message I really wanted to get out to you guys today. Nothing ever stays the same. Things will always change. And in order to be a successful person in life as well as business, you have to learn how to adapt. The most successful people in the world know how to adapt themselves to all of the changes that are out of their control and make those things become something that they can utilize to become successful. I wanted to touch upon the two biggest complaints about Good Till Canceled that I have seen in all of the Facebook groups and on social media. There's two complaints that I see over and over again the most. And I feel like these two complaints are based in falsehoods. They're myths. They're not real. They're not facts. Number one, you can't see when your items end anymore. So this is one big conspiracy theory, so that we all list our items and they continue to roll over and we pay fees because we never know when they're going to end, and you don't want to end them too soon because then you've wasted your money because it didn't run the full 30 days that you paid for. Myth, 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 not true. On your app, probably. I have an Android, and I can tell you that on the Android app, I cannot see when they're going to end. On the computer, whether you have a laptop or a desktop, if you go to your seller hub, to your active listings, that column for time left is still there. Nothing has changed. That is as it has always been. You can sort that by ending soonest or newly listed. So you can absolutely go into the back end of your eBay and see what's ending today or within the next 24 hours. That is still there. That is still an option. If you want your items to end after 30 days, you will have to end them yourself now. And like I said at the beginning, I understand that this is an extra step, that this can be annoying, but it's part of life, and this is part of the whole learning how to adapt to how things are now so that we can be successful. So you can still see when your items are ending. You can see how long they have left, just like you always have been able to. Nothing has changed there. You just have to do it on the computer and go to that column for time left. If it's showing you 29 days or whatever, those are the things you've just listed. You have to click the arrow to resort them, and they'll show you what's ending soon. The other biggest complaint I've seen is that for some reason people think they're going to be spending more money, and I don't even see how you're not. Let me give you an example. If you were to list 600 items in March and 300 of them sell, at the end of the 30 days, those 300 items go to your unsolds. If you wanted to bulk sell similar of those items back into your store, whether you tweak them first or whatever, you're paying for those 300 items to go back in. You are having to pay a listing fee or having the 300 count against your total amount of listings you get per month based on your store subscription. Every store subscription is different. That hasn't changed either. You're not paying more money. It's the same exact thing. If you had 300 items that ended that you put back in that you paid for, now those 300 items that didn't sell, instead of going to an unsold, will automatically relist themselves and you'll pay for them. There's no difference. If you relisted everything when it ended back to your store, you will be paying the same amount of money you always did. There are no hidden fees. There's no crafty way here that they're stealing money from you. The amount of listings that you do every month is the amount of listings you do every month. Between your new ones that you're listing and the old ones that you're putting back, that's not changing. You guys, you're spending the same amount of money. And I don't understand why people would want items not to go back in. Because again, if it's not listed, it's not selling. And I really think that, you know, with very rare exceptions for really sought after hot items and like electronics, most items aren't going to sell in 30 days. In fact, and you've heard me say this before, when we did our clothing guide and we did our research and we found out the average sell-through rate and the average time it takes an item to sell for used clothing, most brands take 4 to 9 months to sell. That's a statistic, that's math, that is a fact, that is research we did, and most clothing on average will take 4 to 9 months to sell. Some will sell faster, absolutely. That always happens. You guys know there's always that fluke where you list something and it sells overnight or sells within a week. But on average, most items are not going to sell within the first month. And the majority of us that run an eBay business or list on eBay list new items each and every day that we've sourced that week. And when things would end after 30 days, we'd put them back in. And the amount of money that you paid for your store subscription, the included listings you get, and then paying for each listing after that will stay the same. Nothing's changed. It's not different. The only way I can see that people think they're going to be paying more money is folks who maybe listed items and after 30 days didn't relist them for whatever reasons. I don't know why you would do that, but maybe you're a hobby seller or a part-time seller and you only have, you know, maybe you don't even have a store. So you have your 50 listings you're working with each month. You still have a job outside of the home and you only want to list 50 things a month so that you're not paying for listings. I can understand that 100%. If this isn't your full-time job or you're not building this up to be a business to support you so you can quit your job, I get that. And now you have that extra step. But it's not the end of the world. It will not kill you. It will not ruin your business. It will not make you go bankrupt. It will be annoying and it is an extra step. But again, you just have to learn to adapt to changes around you. So if you are someone who only wanted 50 items listed every month, you're just going to have to check and make sure that items aren't rolling themselves over. And you can see that again in the Seller Hub on the back end in your active listings. There's a column called Time Left. Click the arrow and it'll show you everything ending soonest down. And if it's going to end within the next 24 hours or so, you can end it yourself and then let it sit until you have free listings again. But see, I would only really recommend that for hobby sellers, because if you're trying to build this into a business or you're doing this full time, you're not doing yourself any favors by having listings sitting in your unsold waiting for more free listings, because you just have all this inventory sitting around that you've put money in and you're not even getting your investment back, let alone a profit. Does that make sense? So yeah, you can still see when they end, and you're not paying any more money than you ever paid before. You will have the additional step that you have to go in and see what's ending today and end it yourself, to either save it until you have free listings again, or to relist yourself with your tweaks, lowering your price or whatever you want to do. Or alternatively, you could really roll with the punches and 100% change the way you do things and just let things roll themselves over. I don't recommend that because I just think that things get stale, but everybody's got to do what is right for them in their business. But I just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys today and just let you know that it's really not the end of the world. It's not. And if you're going to pull your listings, you're only hurting yourself. You've put money into those items. You might as well sell them. eBay is going to make changes, and sometimes we're going to like them, like the offers to watchers. Everybody loves that. That's a great change. Being able to edit right on your seller hub, everybody likes that. And then sometimes they'll make changes that we don't agree with or we don't like. But if you want to continue selling on eBay, you're going to have to learn how to adapt every time they make changes. Whether you agree with them, like them or not, you're going to do things differently, even if you like them. Because now we all have this option to send offers to watchers. You know, everybody's kind of making time in their day or their schedules or their routines to sit down once a week, once a day, whatever you do, and make those offers. And that wasn't something we all did before. So, you know, every time there's changes, we're all going to have to adapt, and we're going to have to learn how to best implement those changes into what we have already established as our business models or our business practices. And if you really feel that strongly that you 100% disagree with it and you don't want to sell on eBay anymore, then, you know, that's your choice. But as much as I disagree with the eBay sometimes, it is the biggest platform for used items, used clothing, plush toys. It's the biggest platform for, you know, a lot of items. And it can be global. If you want to do international shipping, you get in front of the biggest audience, the most eyeballs. So, you know, you just have to... You have to make that decision. If you're going to stay on eBay, you're going to have to play by their rules. And there is no sense in punishing yourself or your bottom line or your finances in protest of what they're doing. You guys, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any more questions, let me know. I will be more than happy to answer them, as always. If you would smash that like button before you leave, I would appreciate it. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin Hippos across all social media. Until next time, you guys have a good night.